guys, it's Gamer Ahmer here. So here we are back with another update video in my series where I take you guys along with me on my collecting journey, trying to go for a full set of Super Nintendo games. So last week we left off with 432 out of the 721, and what did I do? I made it even more difficult. I bought the same game twice. So why would I do that for a terrible game? Not really too sure. This was completely by accident. I have a list, I have a video of the list, and for some reason this game is put on there a couple times. I think because it says in-clause encounters of the third kind. So maybe because they got confused with it on the list, so I'm gonna have to double check that so that I don't keep buying the same game. Well, anyway, we left off with 432, and I knew that when I went to New to Us in Odenton, Maryland, that I would find some more awesome games. And I even got a spectacular deal on some of these heavy hitters. So I got a couple $100 games. So I can't wait to share those ones with you guys. We'll just jump right into it. Probably one of the best games out there on the Super Nintendo. Demon's Crest. Now this one has a little bit of wear on the top part of the label, but for such a great deal, I could not pass that up. This game is one that goes for over $200, and I was able to get it for right around the $100 mark, so 50% off of this crazy game by Capcom. This is such a fantastic game too. So many people love this. So this is your, side scroller where you get to jump and fly. You have this 2D action platformer game. Now this game has such a dark story. You're not trying to be this whole light and, save the world type of thing. You're trying to be the strongest demon. You want to collect all of the different crests. And I love how you could collect these different items and get different powers, but every level is beautifully constructed. So I just love how everything looks, especially in the background as well. And this is a later title on the Super Nintendo, so that's probably why it looks great. The visuals are some of the best. I love how you have different ending options for this game. The huge bosses just look great. There is music, and it kind of has that horror vibe, so that scary or creepy pipe organ style. And you just have these awesome power-ups. So I love this. You have your character who has different forms, their own abilities. You can fly, you can charge and destroy statues, break blocks, create platforms. It's just really a fun game. And the level select is pretty awesome too. So as I was watching my buddy play this, definitely got intrigued. I want to go through and play this game a little bit more. It just looks beautiful, and I am super thrilled to try out this game, have it in the collection, and I just can't believe that I got it for such a great deal. This is an authentic copy, and I'm super pumped because that's not all. I got another one off the list. Instead of all those cheap, crappy, filler sports titles, I had to get some good ones on the list. So if you guys are enjoying this content, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification so that you never miss out, as we are going for a full set of Super Nintendo games, some other complete sets as well, and you just don't want to miss out. Next up, we have the Jetsons, and this one is Invasion of the Planet Pirates. So I did not understand why this was an expensive video game, because it's your typical platform game. So I thought that was pretty interesting when it came to this game, that they used the same game, so they pretty much reskinned it, removed the character in this, and made it like Yokai Buster over in Japan. So I thought that was interesting that they would do that when they did this particular game. But the color palette is great in this game. You have this action platformer. It doesn't really stand out too much. Of course, you have the main character, George. He has to defend the entire planet. You have this interesting vacuum mechanic, which kind of helps you throughout the game. And you have 8 different levels. Now the last one is extremely difficult, but once again, these games are just super expensive, especially on the Nintendo Entertainment System, and then you have this one. But I've played the NES one, so I had to get this one, had to try it out and see what's so different about this game. So if you guys know why this one is so expensive, let me know in the comments below. And then on to this one, we have Lester the Unlikely. Now, when I first started playing this game, I just thought that it was a terrible game. But as you keep going through, this scared, nerdy kid turns into something, you know, like a better character. Like, definitely develops over time. But when you first play this, you just have like this scared character who moves super slow, is afraid of everything. You have to like wait for him to like make those movements. You start out with like a weapon as a rock, but your character definitely advances, you know, as time goes on. But it's not really something that's like extremely spectacular. But if you want to, you know, play like the long game, that's probably the way to go. That way you can kind of see how it started really bad and ends like mediocre at best. Then we have Elite Soccer, so another sports game, but this is one that I had not seen at some of my local video game stores. So I'm really excited that New to Us had, you know, a great inventory. I love how they put these games in like these big cabinets. So that is something different that I had not seen them have before. That one, I just love it where it has like the etched writing on the glass. Just some of those amazing cabinets, those video game cabinets that you would see back in the day. I just love that. When you would go into like Kmart and all those places, you would see these awesome showcases. You just instantly get like those memories. And I love how they have such a variety of games. They even got a ton of like Panasonic 3DO games in stock. So I was looking at some of the light gun games for that system and just tons of merchandise that they constantly get in. They are always buying different games, just adding some cool ones to the set. And it's just really great because every time I go in there, I find some spectacular games, great deals, and I can't believe I knocked like 2 heavies off the list. So that was really exciting. But anyway, this Elite Soccer game is probably not one of the better games for the system. So of course it's like those soccer sports style games where you have the whole overhead camera and it just looks at like half the court, then you see like the other half. You just pretty much have to like choose a different country, choose a different team, and then you just, you know, play soccer. So, not really sure which the better game would be on the Super Nintendo to play sports like soccer, but it's another title that I had to knock off the list. And then we have this one right here. This is Suzuka 8 Hours. So this is a game that you would think is supposed to be super fast, like a super fast racing game. But unfortunately, as you're racing in here, you know, you do have all these different modes, like a practice, time trial. You have these different, you know, difficulties, but it just does not feel like you're racing that fast. Like you're not really going the speed that it says that it is. So because of that, I would say that this is probably a game that you want to avoid, unless you're nostalgic for it and you played it back in the day. And then what I also love about New to Us is they have like tons of like random stuff there. So they have like all these different antiques, different things like that. And then I found this cool KoolAid, this like little cassette player. So this is definitely pretty cool. This is a stereo cassette player. So you have the KoolAid Man on here. It's just really cool seeing that. It says soft drinks brand. So that was really cool just to see this, and I only pay like a few dollars for it. So I'll definitely have to get some, you know, headphones and rock out listening to these cassette tapes from back in the day. But this is super nostalgic. This was everywhere. You just saw the KoolAid Man just popping in everywhere, every commercial, and just really hyping it up. So I thought that this was a pretty cool like little promotional piece for that item. So I'm definitely thrilled to add that one into the collection. So if you're ever in Maryland, you should definitely check out New to Us. They get tons of stuff in stock. They have so much cool stuff at their store, and every time that I go there, I find something crazy. So this time in particular, I would have to point out Demon's Crest and the Jetsons. They just have some high quality games, some great deals. They ran a sale. I was able to get these items like 20% off already on some great deals. So paying like 50% less on Demon's Crest, I cannot be more thankful for that, because this list definitely has some heavy hitters left on it. But that's not all. I also went to a cool little flea market, and I went there like a while ago. So I was able to find quite a few games and items to add. So this one right here is in this cool little VHS tape, you know, holder. But we have this Olympic game. So we have Winter Olympics games on the Super Nintendo. So this also came with the instruction manual. Now this one's not really like one of the best Super Nintendo games, but it was just a few dollars, and there is a guy there who has like tons of games. He had tons of like sealed games as well. So I was able to make a great deal with him. Found some really cool like Simpsons figures and some other things like that. You know, there, I just found tons of cool stuff. But as I'm going for the Super Nintendo set, I had to pick up that game. And there's nothing really notable about it. You do have like bobsledding, skiing, some other sports. But it's just not really like the most entertaining game. But then you have some of these games, and these were all sealed. It's like he bought out an entire like wholesaler who had these games. So here is this Gianna Sisters Twisted Dreams Director's Cut on the Wii U. So this one is your platforming game, and it's actually a beautifully crafted game that I definitely need to play a little bit more. It is very difficult though, and you do have like different puzzles, traps, you know, you have to time the jumps as you're going through. So I think that this will be a fun little game to get into. Now that's of course if I want to open up the seal here, but I got such a great deal that I might just want to play it. And then onto this game, we have Afro Samurai on the Xbox 360. This is an interesting game. I just love the art style of it. I love what they were trying to do, where you have this like interesting and like creative look and style to the game. You have like this whole hip-hop culture, but you have like this humor sense in here. It's not like the best with, you know, being fluid as you're moving through the game, but it sounds great. You are like the swordsman, you have to avenge your father's death, and you have like these crazy combat options in this game, and you're just slicing anything. There's just so much blood, but it seems like a great time, so I can't wait to dive into this game as well. I think I have it on another system, and I started to play it, but definitely have to play it on the Xbox 360. And then this game right here, this one was also sealed. We have this Ninja Gaiden Z. So this is like a different style game than any other Ninja Gaiden game. So this is all about zombies, and there are tons of zombies. There's like zombies everywhere. So if you want to play this fun game, it actually comes with, in here I just noticed, the special edition with the exclusive Dark Horse comic, original soundtrack CD, costume DLC for use. And that's actually really cool that it comes with all this extra stuff. I think I actually saw this when I was out and about at a store in Arizona where they had the comic in here, but I did not realize it was for this game. So you just get to run around and just have a blast. Now it isn't like the best gameplay, but because there's so many zombies, you can spend so much time playing this game and just moving through and defeating all of the zombies. So that one also looks great. So overall, definitely had a blast trying to find some of these games. And even though I keep buying the same game over and over again, first it was one of the sports games, now it's Bubsy. I don't know what's coming next, but hopefully I don't buy the same games continuously. So we started with 432 this week, and we are ending at 438. So we get to add 6 more games into the set, adding a few more extra games for other systems as well, and just having a blast at New to Us in Odenton, Maryland. Just catching up and finding some amazing deals, and I can't repeat it anymore, but the Jetsons and Demon's Crest, those are some great ones that I'm super thrilled to play a little bit more, as I just can't believe I scored them for the prices that I did. Both games like at $100 or under $100, you just cannot beat that. It's just insane to find some of these prices nowadays where things are just so insane. So what were your favorites in the bunch? Did you like the heavy hitters? Do you like some of these games that aren't even Super Nintendo related? Let me know in the comments below, and of course, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go ahead and check out my other videos and stay tuned for more.